we have a, we're going to go over there in a minute. We have a 300 WSM that is something that's brand new that we've never done, and we're going to put that on film. But I got to stop here and go over and set that up. So we'll be back in a minute. See you. Okay, so we left the 6.5 284 over there. This is a 300 WSM. This might end up being 2 videos. I'm not certain, but I want you to look at this gun. So this is a bench gun, right? Got a 3-inch wide forearm. This is a McMillan. What is this? An MBR? Is that what this is, Vicki?
Thule MBR.
Thule MBR. It is in either McWalnut or McWoody. Do you know which?
It is McWalnut.
McWalnut. Now here, I want you to look at this. So 300 WSM. This has a 337 neck in it. That is a turn neck, you know, an Q.M.M. But this is a bat VR. Watch. Right bolt, left port. And again, solid bottom single shot, right? This is a really nice gun. I would like to own this gun. I haven't shot it yet, but I'm looking forward to shooting it. We're waiting on decent weather. I really, really like 300 WSM. It is definitely one of my favorite cartridges. And when I say that, that's 300 WSM with Berger 210s. And man, do I wish there was custom bullets, like say like Bart's. I wish he made like a 215 or something like that, a custom bullet for 30 caliber. Man, would that be awesome. But this has, like I said, Bat VR. This has a jewel in it, and no safety, right? So this is set at about, I don't know. I truthfully don't know. It's set at about 6 ounces. When it's customer guns, I don't like to go down into like 1 and 2 and 3 ounces. If they want to set it there, they can do that. But that's not why we're even looking at this. Why we're looking at this gun is when this receiver was ordered, and listen carefully what I'm saying here. This is no knock on Bat. Bat builds a lot of receivers. They get it right 99% of the time. But when this receiver was ordered, the work order said no ejector. So come over here. And so, you know, I realize most guys know what this stuff is, but just in case you don't. So this plunger right here, that plunger is the ejector, right? And by the way, I always, well, I don't want to give away too many secrets, but I always reduce the pressure on those, right? So anyways, the receiver was ordered with no ejector, but the bolt that came has an ejector, right? All right. So you got to realize you wait on these long time, and that is one thing. Why, if Bat or any of the custom, if the barrels, the stocks, if they could all shorten up their production time, holy cow, that would be so much nicer. But we waited on this a long time. We waited on this, right? So then you've got your barrel, you got your stock, you got your trigger. You've been gathering up all this stuff literally for like almost a year. And here you get a bolt, and it's got the ejector in it, and that's not what the customer ordered. All right, so first thing I did was I called the customer and I said, the bolt came with an ejector in it. He's like, you know what, no big deal. Just go ahead and use it. And I'm like, all right, well, he's cutting me some slack. That's good. But then I called up at Bat and I talked to Daryl and I said, Daryl, the bolt, and I might have done it in the other order, I don't know. And the bolt came and it's got an ejector. Well, he's like, oh man, okay, we didn't mean to do that. He said, we'll get another one to you ASAP. Well, again, that doesn't happen overnight, but it was expedited, all right? So I'm giving kudos to Bat. They're immediately like, okay, we made a mistake, we're gonna fix that mistake. All right, and Daryl said to me, go ahead and build the gun. Go ahead and build the gun, build the gun. And I'm like, build it on this bolt. And he's like, yes, build it on that bolt. And I'm like, Daryl, you realize sometimes I'm head spacing like under 1 thou. Sometimes I'm head spacing to a half a thou. He's like, build the gun on this bolt. And I'm like, and you're going to send me another one? He's like, yep, we're going to send you another one. And I'm like, it's going to be interchangeable. He's like, yep. And I'm like, oh man, seriously guys, this is not something I do. I mean, I take OCD, like guys who are OCD, like I make them seem like pikers, okay? I just don't do that kind of stuff. But he's like, no, I promise, it's gonna be interchangeable. Now listen, what we're about to do here, I have never done, right? So here is this bolt, and we're gonna have to get the gauges and everything, but here it is, right? Guess what is in here? Okay, and I purposely did this because I wanted to have as much authenticity in what we're about to do as I could possibly have. So here this is. This is the way they come, by the way. And I gotta pick nits here. Why do they have to send these things FedEx? This costs a heck of a lot of money. They're only 100 miles away. I could drive up and get them. All right, so I don't even need scissors. So here we go. By the way, you hear me hacking and coughing? So guess what? Wuhan surprise. Twice now. First time a year and a half ago, I almost died. Guess what? I've been down for a month. And you know, like we're supposed to be like, oh, look how many push-ups we can do. Look at this, yeah. No. Again, however strong I was a month ago, I'm half that strong. It's like a baby. All right, so I don't even know what this is. Okay, look at this. All right, look at this. So this is the bat modular sleeve tool, because look, these bolts are two-piece, right? And boy, we could have a big talk about that. I'm like, I don't want them to do that. I like the old one-piece. They're like, no, it'll be better. And I'm like, it won't be better. I like one piece. And they're like, no, two piece. And I'm like, oh, one piece, no, two piece. And he's like, shoot it. He said, take them out and shoot them. See if you see any difference. Because remember, that's our one claim to fame, is we shoot every single gun. That's why this is here, because it hasn't been shot. Trust me, I'd like to put this in a box and send it to the guy, but we haven't shot it. So you don't shoot it, you don't get it. All right. I agree with them. So I'm saying this mostly for Darryl and Bruce right now. They went this way. I would not have chose to go this way. If anything, I'm seeing the accuracy increase, not decrease. Okay, so I'm, oh, and you notice, see, they've done away, this has got the mini M16 in it. I don't see the sliding plate so much anymore, and I never really liked that sliding plate. I really didn't. So they've changed things. Now, there's one thing I will say, and I don't have an example here to show you. Do I? No, I don't think I have an example here to show you. The one thing I will say is the teardrop knob that used to be on the end of these, that thing was so beautiful. That was just a beautiful piece of machining. Well, now they've gone to the two-piece. So you can screw this off, and you can put a big one on, or you can put a small one on, you can put every one on there. You can put a golf ball on there if you wanted to. I gotta say, that teardrop, the original teardrop bat shape, that thing was just beautiful. But you know what? I'm the only one who notices that. The guys who are buying these, they've never had any of those old ones anyways. And so I would say they're getting better. I really would. It's amazing. And you know, and they've got the little bat on the cocking shroud, and now they're putting that. Look at that. They got that little bat even on that mini M16 extractor. I mean, guys, what I'm telling you is, look at me. I got to be careful what I say here. There's lots of custom receivers, lots and lots, more now than ones I haven't even used. I've used approximately a dozen in my career, a dozen different ones. These are top of the line. They truly are, but we're about to find out just how top of the line. So here is a bat. I mean, I might have to stop this video and figure out how to use this stuff because I never used it before. There's a tool, how to take. What we're going to do is evidently, I don't know what he sent here, I got to see, we're going to take this part of the bolt away. Here, we'll get to that in a second. Again, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for full authenticity. I didn't get to look at this stuff beforehand. So yeah, I'm going to have to learn how to do it. Because look, they send instructions, okay? And first of all, let's see, what is this?
That's the receiver.
This is a whole different receiver.
Yeah, that's a whole nother receiver.
So this is a bat HR, right bolt, right port. Look at all this stuff. This is another thing. Wait, yeah, let me stop. Look at my face again. So this is another thing. Guy called them parts gatherers. You know, the guys who want to gather up all their own parts. They want to get their own stock. They want to get their own barrels, blah, blah. Do you know what you're really getting into when you try to do this. We've been doing this now. This is going to go into our 16th year doing it for other people. Vicki, they can't see you right now, but tell them, how involved is ordering a McMillan stock to get it exactly the way you want?
Pretty involved.
Yeah, like from 1 to 100 is like 98. It's hard. All right? Look at this. This is a description of a bat receiver. I mean, look at all that. Do you know what every single one of those little abbreviations mean? I mean, there is a lot going into that. Let's just look at this while we're here. It is much harder to order parts and get the right thing than what people think. And here's the other thing. Listen, especially if you're ordering, we'll look at that in a second. If you're ordering non-standardized stuff, a lot of the stuff, like all the barrels we use now are non-standardized. Most of the stocks we use, in some way, shape, or form, there's special requests on them, like that one. No top safety. You know what I mean? No escutcheons. McMillan, I'm not going to go into it too much, but McMillan wants to put escutcheons in all of their stinking stocks. And they're like trained to do that. Well, look, that's not what we do. Look at this. That's custom made. And if you could see underneath there, there's a custom made one underneath that also. So this is a 2-hole trigger guard, but I don't want the escutcheon put in there. I want it blank. And I don't want the hole here. I don't want anything there so that I can find all of my own centers, all my own axes. Again, I'm going too deep, as always. The receiver, the bolts that hold the receiver in, quarter 28. It is very important. It is very important that that bolt pulls at 90 degrees. Not like this, and not like this, or this, or this. It is very important that that bolt pulls at 90 degrees. And it is very important that this one pulls at 90 degrees. And this one right here really should hardly be doing anything. But again, there's an escutcheon in there. It's epoxied in. It's screwed in. All that stuff's super important. So anyways, when you're ordering parts, it's not just like you go and check off a form. It's not like picking accessories for a car. It's like I want A, B, C, and D. I mean, it isn't Burger King. You just don't get it your way. You got to order it a certain way. And even then, most of the time when it comes, and I won't say most of the time, some of the times when it comes, it's not right. Then it's got to go back. Okay? So anyways, but I'm getting too off track, just like I always do. Let's look at this for a second. Because, you know, this is something, a lot of guys don't get to see this ever in their whole life. I mean, look at this thing. Just look at this. This is BAT HR 20, no way.
2022.
2022.
Cool.
Oh, man, is he lucky.
And today is the last day.
Today is the last day of 2022.
Yep.
We know this. This is Chris Hart's, isn't it? I think this is Chris Hart's. Doesn't that say that? Yes. Chris Hart, you just got really lucky. He's got, I don't know, he's got 2 or 3 of our guns. A bunch of his buddies have our guns. Wow. But anyways, look at that thing. Just look at that thing. I mean, this is a repeater. I think this is going to be a 7 mag is what I think this is. Anyways, they're just beautiful. Okay, let's just say it. They are just beautiful. And they keep refining it. I notice now they're starting to put all these little radiuses inside the Picatinny rail. I mean, it's just nice stuff. And the way they open, I've showed that before. These 2 surfaces, the primary extraction, the way those 2 surfaces come together and open up, I mean, it's just nice, okay? It is just really, really nice stuff. They're really dang expensive. I mean, we won't go into that. I mean, all right, so let's get off of that for a second. Let's look at this, okay? Anyways, I had this thinking Wuhan surprise again, and I wouldn't say I almost died, but holy cow, it hurt us. We all 3 had it. And again, I must be the exact person they engineered it for, because it seems like I get it worse than everybody else. All right, so look at this. Look at that. Look, And so there it is. No, here, look at the difference. One has a plunger, one doesn't. And again, just look at that. All right, so I'm going to have to, I've never done this, so I'm going to have to stop, and I got to figure out how to get this bolt body off of this handle and how to switch them. But wait a second, before, I'm going to have to go get my headspace gauges and stuff. Before we switch it, we have to show where we're at with this one, right? So just stop for a minute. Stop for a minute and let me go get my tools. Okay, so we still haven't figured out how to switch the bolt body, but I want to show you something else. So I went over and got this out of my reamer drawer. And you know, I got like a zillion reamers. Reamers are like the thing that is a huge expense for gun builders. So in here, there's a 22 BR rim match Lapua, a 22-250 rim match, a 22-250 Ackley, a 30 Nosler for 210 grain burgers. I have one of them for 245s too. But here's a 300 WSM, a Manson reamer, same deal. Not new, but I keep track of how many of these guns build, right? This has a 337 neck in it. So it's got the cartridge overall length and it's got the comp number, etc. And so here, watch. This is the headspace gauge that I use for this gun, but now watch. Remember, we did this. Here's the dummy rounds, by the way. The original dummy rounds that the reamer were made off of. But look at all this brass. You remember this? So you have to go back and watch that other video. So these are numbered, and they were numbered from, oh gosh, they were either numbered from smallest to biggest, I think. I think one was on the small side. You see the numbers on them? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that on the big side, there's 8 of them. I think 8 was to the right. Again, you have to go back and watch that other video where we were building this gun. Okay, so here's 7. See, I can't remember all this stuff. It's too much because I'm working on other guns in between. So here's what we're going to do now. Okay, see, this is all with the necks cut off, right? All right, now here's the headspace gauge. So let's put this in, and here, so that we can really tell, let's take watch this. Turn it clockwise. Do not turn it counterclockwise. If the firing pin, if the cocking piece goes into the fired position, unless you're 6'4", 250, you probably are not going to be getting it out of there, okay, without a tool. But when you turn it this way, it comes right out. It's not that big a deal. So firing pin, right? And we do that. It would be nice if I could take the plunger out too, and I could, but I just don't want to do it. It's too much work, right? So I'm going to put the headspace gauge in there, push it in, put the bolt in, and close it. Now look, I can feel, I can't feel anything. I think this gun is headspace to 0 on this gauge. So let's, here, wait. We're probably going to have to get the dang shims back out. So let's try this for a second. So here's 1, right? Push 1 in there. Yes. See, now there's movement. Here, can you see that? It's right here. Try to move the camera in here so they can see this. So 1 is on the small side. Watch. You see the movement here? I'll try to hold my other fingers. Can you hear it? Can you hear that?
Yes,
okay,
I can hear it.
So that's the movement. That's the difference. That is the difference from the case head to the shoulder. It is shorter than this gauge. Now I think, like I said, I think these are all in order. So here's 2, right? So put 2 in there. Very similar. And again, I'm not even going to read the head stamps on these. But these, yes, this is it. I chambered it for these Norma, for this 300 WSM Norma brass. Okay, so they're getting bigger, right? Definitely. Okay, so there's 3, here's 4. Wow. 4 definitely jumped up. 4 is bigger. Okay. Okay, now here's 5. Wow. Can't move it at all. Can't move it at all. Remember, you can't move it on 5, because that might be what we use to test that other bolt. Okay, 5, 6, Cannot move it. It'd be nice if one of these just won't go in. 7. Wow, look, look, look. Look. Okay, this is going to be our test cartridge when we go to switch. So there's 7. Don't forget this stuff. 7 does not want to go. This is going to be super cool. Set that out. Okay, here's 8. And 8 will not go. Okay, this is awesome. This is going to be awesome. Okay, totally awesome. All right, now. Okay, so 7 goes halfway, 8 doesn't want to go, and the headspace gauge, and it's a little bit more true, by the way, because realize it's steel, but it has essentially nothing, right? There's just nothing there. Now, I got to stop again, and we got to figure out, might have to go watch a YouTube video. I got to figure out how to get this piece off of here and get that piece on, and then we'll come back. See. Okay, so we just did it. We switched it. And so this is the one that just came out of the box. Here's the one with the plunger in it. Here is the one with no ejector in it. Okay, so what we did is we followed these instructions exactly like it says, and we used our little tool, and it worked. I would say it worked. Was it easy? It wasn't exactly easy. The hardest part was when I put that sleeve back down. First of all, was putting these two back together. Putting the old handle on the new body. And again, that's because there's tight machining there, but that was a little bit difficult. Then you put the sleeve back down in there, and then I had to push the cocking piece in. Look, you push this thing, you don't use the tool. You push that sleeve back down in there. Then when I had to do this, to get this to go in and turn, I had to put a glove on. It was pretty hard. It really was. It took not a huge amount of force, but it was pretty difficult. So now, this is the new bolt body. And so again, this is super cool. So, put that in there. Well, it cocks. Okay? It cocks. So, I'm going to jump straight to the steel headspace gauge, and then we'll walk through. So watch. Oh man, this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this back out so it's a fair test. Okay, take the firing pin out. I think I'm about to be amazed here. All right, so here we go. 1. Feels just the same. 2. Just the same. Okay, 3. 4. 5. 5. 6. Okay, let's go back. I want to feel that 5 again. Something felt different with the 5. Here we go. That's strange. Okay, 5, 6. Now here we go. Here's 7. This is the one. 7. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Halfway. That is amazing. Okay, that is amazing. All right, so there's 7. And this is the test. 8. Here we go. Number 8. Look at that. Okay, now look at my face so you can see this. I wouldn't have believed that. I honestly, gosh, wouldn't have believed that. I can tell by the feel, and that 5 felt a hair different. It's not exact. Those two bolt heads are not exact. But you want to know something? I'll bet you they're within 2 to 4 10,000ths. That is absolutely amazing. That is amazing. And so, you know, there's an awful lot I could say here. Okay, you got to realize, they just built another bolt body. They didn't have that one. And they didn't have the gun. And so essentially, they're almost identical. You get down to 2 or 4 10,000s, that's under half a thou. This is amazing. So Daryl, you were right. I am amazed. Now I'm going to tell you what I am going to do, and this is just because I am Mr. Anal, okay? I'm going to switch them back, and I'm going to put that one on it when I go out to shoot it. Now what would be super cool, and I just can't do this, guys, okay, we don't make any money off of this. What would be super cool is if I could shoot that one and establish whatever accuracy level this gun has, and then shoot this one. That would be so cool, but again, you're talking about maybe days worth of work. You know what I mean? We just can't do all this for free. But holy cow, would that be an interesting thing. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to switch it back to the original one, and then I'm going to talk to the customer. And I'm going to tell him, well, I'll tell him to watch this video when it finally goes up, and then I'll let him decide what he wants to do. But when I go out to shoot it, I'm going to shoot it with the one that I built it off of. And then if he wants this, if he wants to, it'll be up to him. If he wants to buy this one or send this one, the other one back to bat, whatever he wants to do, it is up to him. I got to tell you guys, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. That level of machining, mass-produced machining, is astounding. So when you guys go to buy receivers, you go buy whatever you want to buy. I'm buying bat. All right, guys. See you next time. Thank you.
Bye. Happy New Year.